Gospels compare well with other ancient documents, but so much more is expected of the Gospels than other ancient documents. No one bases their faith, their life choices, their existential choices upon the annals of Tacitus or Suetonius's 12 Caesars or Homer's Iliad. We have every right to expect a much higher degree of accuracy, a much higher degree of reliability from the New Testament than we have there. Okay, now, as for the experiences, the appearances of Jesus, Dr. Craig said that I deny these. I do not. I do not deny that the disciples had an experience which they interpreted, which they took as being an appearance of Jesus. I think they probably did. Well, how do we account for that? How can we say that they could possibly have had such an experience? Well, once again, he far too quickly and dismissively disregards the explanation of hallucinations. I was just simply reading the Encyclopedia of Psychology recently. It says that 1/8 to 2/3 of normal human beings experience waking hallucinations. Now, one of the standard characteristics of many hallucinations is that they seem extremely real, very, very real. In fact, there are classes of hallucinations. For instance, there are hypnagogic, hypnopompic hallucinations, which are experienced, and the people who experience these hallucinations almost always say, yes, it seems so real. Consider Whitley Strieber, the one who wrote Communion, about who he was supposedly abducted by space aliens. Supposedly he was asleep in his farm in Vermont, and the gray aliens came through the walls, abducted him, took him aboard their spaceship, and did terrible things to him. Okay? Whitley Strieber says it was real. I saw him on the Johnny Carson show. Johnny Carson said, do you think you might have dreamed this? He said, no, it seemed absolutely real. Okay? So very many of these experiences, which occur, as I say, to a very considerable segment of the population, seem extremely real at the time. What causes hallucination? Well, the Encyclopedia of Psychology that I was reading says extreme depression, an extreme experience of loss, of alienation. Surely the disciples, after the death of their leader, as Dr. Craig said, would have been experiencing precisely those severe psychological symptoms that would induce such hallucinations.